Production is saving Meredith. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 11, and the name of the episode is called Ladies Who Lunch, the sequel. Now, I know I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late.
And I'm sorry.
I just don't feel good. I know you can probably tell by my voice, but I had to come on in here today to get this review done because I feel like, well, I know that this week I'm going to be busy because you got Married to Medicine coming out, and then the It Girls are coming back. Beverly Hills are going to be back this week. And I'm already 3 weeks behind on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I thought that with the Thanksgiving holiday being here this week, I thought that I was going to have a chance to catch up on Love and Marriage Huntsville before the third episode came out. But as the saying go, how does the saying go? Want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And so I ended up getting sick the day before Thanksgiving, which ended up killing my Thanksgiving plans and everything else. But, you know, again, I'm just happy to be alive. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 11, and the name of the episode is called Ladies Who Lunch, the sequel, okay? So after Mary's church sermon, Mary throws a Sunday social. Now, it looks like it's at the same place where she told Jen Shah, don't get ghetto.
Don't get ghetto.
All of the women show up. Mary is serving the girls Dom Perignon, 2003, and she's gifting them with betta fish. Did y'all hear Whitney say that the betta fish are fighting fish, just like my friends?
Yes, bitch.
Now, I thought we wasn't supposed to refer to women as fish. I don't, anyway. I don't. I understand the sentiment. Listen, if women say don't refer to them as fish, don't. I don't anyway. But what other women do to women, that's none of our business, right? That's none of our business. I was just shocked to hear Whitney refer to the group as fish. Anyway, Mary shares with the women that Britt wasn't invited to the church service because she told Mary that she was the most ungodly person that she ever met. Mary also called Britt and told her that she wasn't invited. Britt apologized, and Mary felt that the apology was sincere. I believe that the apology was sincere as well, but I think the decision was made by production to not have Britt in attendance because of the magnitude of what happened between Meredith, Lisa, and Britani. Is her name Britt? I'll just be calling her Britt, but if I say Britt, it's because of Britani, okay? I believe that production felt that the group needed to get to the bottom of whatever went down on the plane to see how they can move forward as a group. Heather kind of takes charge. I think Heather is taking charge because it was her trip, and at the end of the day, she holds some of the responsibility. If you throw an event or if you throw a trip, it's up to you to make sure that your guests are comfortable. But I think that Heather is trying to put the blame on Lisa and Meredith to take it off of her. But I still think that Heather is messy and sneaky. And I think that she wanted to see some shit go down.
No.
Oh yes.
No.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
But I do not think that Heather thought it would have went as far as it did. But that's the thing. You never really know how far shit can go. That's why you let shit happen organically and you don't got to produce the shit to go further. And I'm still standing on this. Britani and Bronwyn should not have been sharing rooms. They should not have been sharing rooms. Whitney and Heather, they are cousins. They got, you ain't got to be that close when we on the trip when you sharing rooms with your cousins. I'm sure y'all don't have sleepovers before. Can Mormons have sleepovers? I'm sure y'all had sleepovers growing up. The group kind of calls out Meredith and Lisa. I believe Meredith is being saved by production. In this conversation, the physicality of what happened is being left out. The hair pulling, the drink throwing, the seat pulling and being kicked, it's all being left out. Only what was done verbally is being talked about. And I think that was probably edited out for the sake of the show. Now, they did keep the part where Whitney said that Britani hair was wet. That was because of the drink throwing, okay? But without talking about the physical, then what are we even doing? Because that is what Housewives is about. Housewives argue, right? We've literally heard people say the most vile things to each other, and you're not going to get me to believe that all of this outrage is simply based on words.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. at all.
And it's also not a good look because of the racial aspect that's at play. Here we are with this fragile white woman who's afraid and can't film because a cast member said something to her on a plane. Whereas Black housewives are expected to show up and continue to film. Candy was expected to show up and continue to film with Portia after she accused her of rape, or at least trying to rape her. Lisa said that she didn't do nothing to Britt. Heather tried to say that Lisa said nothing happened. They rolled the footage. She didn't say that. She said that she didn't do anything. And Heather, calm down, girl, because I feel like that Heather do so much talking, but she kind of loses me a little, because I feel like she kind of do too much, and sometimes it seems like she be lying. Like, right, in this case, my thing is, if you're gonna accuse somebody of something, you need to have your facts straight. You need to dot your T's and cross your I's, especially when you're saying something to me. And the fact that Bravo had to roll that beautiful being footage, Heather needs to lead the conversation, because she be lying. Meredith said that she was reacting. Meredith was not reacting, and I know y'all don't like Britani, but it's just not true. Meredith started the whole thing with Britt. She had already threw 2 drinks at Britani before Bronwyn even told her about the seizure comment, under the disguise that they were playing a game. Well, what kind of game is that you playing with another adult where you throwing water on her?
What kind of bullshit is that?
I don't give a damn if it's water or not. Don't throw nothing on me. That's not a game. Then when Bronwyn told her about the seizure comment, she threw another drink and said that she was done with her. After that, there was 2 or 3 instances where Meredith was picking at Britani, and Britani had to tell her, well, why do you care? You said that you was done with me. Why do you care? And once Britt threw up and started taking shots, Meredith was not trying to help her. She was trying to bring attention to her, and she was actually trying to shame her. And then Britt said, well, let's talk about the husband.
For 3 years.
Oh, wait, excuse
Let's talk about the husband having a mistress, because it's all over TikTok. That is what happened. But because y'all look down on Britt, she can't say nothing to Meredith. But Meredith can do and say whatever she wants to Britani. Bitch, please. Fuck Meredith. Meredith started that. And it's obvious that production is trying to protect Meredith, because they won't even show the flashback of Meredith saying that she's done with Britani, and if the girls want to support her, she'll be done with them too. And Lisa had to end up telling Meredith that she did say that. So Meredith can't even come clean over simple shit. And we're supposed to believe that nothing went down on that plane because Meredith said so?
No.
Absolutely not. Meredith ended up calling out Whitney for saying things behind her back. Whitney says that she didn't talk behind Meredith's back, and Angie says she didn't say anything behind her back. That's why you gotta shut the fuck up. That's why you gotta shut the fuck up, because you never know what a motherfucker do.
Message!
So when Bronwyn and Whitney met up, and when Bronwyn told Whitney that she was open to inviting other people into their bedroom,
That's nasty.
Whitney said that Meredith may have blacked out because she saw her in the lounge drinking before boarding the plane, and she implied that Meredith may have a substance abuse problem. I can see that in Meredith by her actions, the way she moved, how her mouth twists to the right when she speaks. You know, I can see it in her, but she's probably on medication. However, this just shows me that Bronwyn likes to play both sides. She shouldn't have been invited to Whitney's house for Britani's high body count hair party, because she didn't even believe that this happened to Britani on the plane anyway. She was skeptical about it anyway, and I felt like that she was a part of the bully. Next, Meredith and Lisa ended up meeting to get manicures, and they talk about what happened at Mary's Sunday social lunch. Meredith is upset because the rumors that Whitney is spreading about her mental health and her drinking. And I don't like Meredith, but I definitely understand how she feels. I will be pissed. I will be pissed. But I definitely believe what Whitney is saying, because I can see it. Lisa shares that she met and had a conversation with Britt. She says that she actually had Britt's back on the plane.
Girl.
I 100% believe that Lisa was leaning over that seat and telling Britani, you fucked up. You fucked up. Give me your fucking phone. I 100% believe she was doing that. But I can also see how she flipped that into making it seem like that she was having Britt's back. I can see how she could flip that, but girl, please. Lisa says that they will never be able to agree to what happened on the plane. However, she apologized to Britani, and she thinks that they're in a good place. Next, we get Heather and Whitney. Now, Heather is getting rid of a marital mattress of over 20 years.
What?
There were stains on the mattress. Baby, when I tell you Bravo would never have seen those stains, I would never have made that into a storyline. Now, Heather says that those aren't sex stains on the mattress. Not one sperm was spilled on the mattress because God doesn't like waste, and she's a good Mormon. So that means that she swallows.
You nasty.
Whitney says that Meredith blacking out triggers her because her dad was an addict. Then you got to take that up with your daddy, baby. If I'm Meredith, you're going to have to take that up with your daddy. Don't come over here accusing me of mixing drugs with alcohol because of what your daddy had going on. You need to go to therapy and you need to go talk about that. Whitney is also upset that Bronwyn went and told Meredith what she said because she fully planned on telling her. And I think that is bullshit. Just when was you planning on telling Meredith? Because it seems like it was a while between when you sat down with Bronwyn and Mary's church event, right? It also seems like y'all wasn't fucking with Meredith and Lisa and y'all was trying to ice them out. So I call bullshit on that. And baby, you was in front of a camera. You was in front of a camera. And if you was going to say it to anybody one-on-one, it should have been to Meredith. And my thing with Whitney, girl, I just call bullshit because you're a veteran now. This is your 6th season, and you know how shit works. The same way you went and met with Bronwyn to talk about Lisa's court cases when the group shut them down, when y'all was on y'all camping trip, and you and Bronwyn wanted to get Lisa court cases in front of the camera, and y'all went to go meet one-on-one to talk about it, you knew what to do if you really wanted to talk to Meredith about it. You are mad that you was called out. But Bronwyn probably paid you back. I wonder when Bronwyn went back and told Meredith that, because Bronwyn probably paid you back for going and saying, putting it in front of the group that she wasn't wearing her wedding ring.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Because you also brought that to the group. Next, we got Britani. Britani goes to counseling with Olivia. I'm assuming that Britani's other daughter is under 18, which is why she's not filming. The dad probably didn't sign off on it, because Olivia is 19. Olivia said that Britani was a good mom before she divorced her dad. But when her mother divorced, she got married very quickly and started to prioritize her stepchildren before Olivia and her sister. This happens all the time, especially if the woman is dependent on the man, or if the woman is like a housewife and financially dependent on the man. And this is also what Mama Joyce was trying to prevent from happening with Candy and Riley. Remember when Mama Joyce went and told Riley, Candy, before the marriage, you got a great girl over here. She said, I got sister girl. You got a great girl over here. You got a great girl over here. Fuck Kayla.
Get that bitch out of here.
We worried about Riley. But it can happen consciously and subconsciously. You may try to do a little extra to make sure that the stepkids feel secure or included and forget about your biological children. Or you may be taking those steps to make sure that the stepchildren are feeling included, but your partner may not be doing that to your children, and they could be feeling left out. And I don't think that was the case for Britani. Olivia actually said that she was doing it so the man can notice her and love and appreciate her more. But let's be real. Britani probably only had them kids to keep that nigga in the first place. Let's be real. I see it all the time. And when the nigga was gone and the love wore off, Britani probably said, fuck them kids.
Yes. It had nothing to do with how bad it makes me look. It had everything to do with the fact that
And that's the truth. I see it all the time. And Olivia said that her and Britt didn't really talk for almost 7 years.
In some ways.
Olivia feels like they have a connection, and she still wants to have a connection with Britt, but she's afraid that she's going to get hurt. I'm glad that Britani is taking accountability for the role that she played in it and not gaslighting Olivia, because a lot of parents would not admit to doing that. Putting a man before their kids or putting their man's children over their kids. They would not admit to it. And I'm glad that she is not gaslighting her daughter. This is why I'm not really against blended families, but this is why I try to check in with my friends' kids or my little cousins to make sure that they are treated fairly and are being heard. And I actually think it's your job as an outsider to, if you're cool with a parent that's in a blended family, to make them aware of what you're noticing. And, having them check in with the kids and with the biological kids or the step kids to make sure that the children are getting what they need or they are feeling included. And I feel like, one group of kids are set above the other group of kids, right? Because it can happen consciously and subconsciously. It can. Bronwyn, Gwen, and Muzzy, they go to a pottery class. Gwen wants to leave and go to Portland. And Muzzy wants to leave and go back home. Bronwyn doesn't want them to leave because she feels like she's going to be left behind, which is crazy because this is a whole married woman. This is a whole married woman. But see, her marriage is loveless. And see, it goes to show that no matter how well dressed she is, Valentino and Gucci isn't going to make her feel loved at night.
Message.
I struggled with this when I moved to LA. My mom is single and I didn't want to leave my mom, but I had to leave and live my life. I had to leave, okay? And then shortly after I left, my sister wanted to leave. And I didn't tell her this, but I did not want my sister to leave because I was thinking who's going to be there with my mom. And I still have a brother there, but everything would fall on him, which is unfair. But it's also not fair for my sister to feel trapped and she can't go nowhere. You get what I'm saying? And so then I thought at the end of the day, we're all responsible for ourselves. I will say this though, with my mother being single and having friends whose parents are single and having friends whose parents have partners, there is a huge difference. The single parents are really dependent on their children and treat them almost like a spouse in some ways, right? Especially if they aren't active. And so it is kind of hard. I wish my mother had a spouse, but those are the choices she made. And sometimes I talk to my mom and she'd be like, I'm over here by myself. I'm over here by myself. And I have to tell her, Mama, you're a single woman. You single. But if I was winning, my mama had a husband, I wouldn't be giving Bronwyn ass a second thought. I'll be gone. I'll be gone. Bye. Okay? Then we get Meredith. Meredith meets with Britani. Meredith's apology gave me, I'm only apologizing for what I said. And that's hurting your feelings. Because I'm not apologizing, and I'm not apologizing for anything else because I'm not admitting to anything else. Britani accepted the apology. To her, it seems like anything is better than nothing. Like she told Lisa, she wanted her to accept some part of what happened, and I guess that is what Meredith did, okay? Britani apologized for bringing up the TikTok. She said she doesn't know the intricacies of Meredith and Seth's marriage. Meredith said that what really triggered her was her acting like she was trying to help her. But Meredith, you definitely wasn't trying to help Britani when you was bringing up her taking shots after she threw up. And see, that's what I'm saying. With me, we would have went backwards. Everything would have went backwards, okay? They agreed to respect one another and they agreed to try to take baby steps in their relationship. And that pretty much was the episode. Do y'all think that Meredith's apologies were sincere? And would you have accepted the apology if you was Britani? I couldn't even see myself being in that position. I couldn't even see myself being in that position because them air marshals would have had me under the jail for a double murder. Lisa and Meredith.
Call the police now.
But y'all, that pretty much was the episode, y'all. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. I'm sorry that the video was late. I've been under the weather, as y'all can tell, but it's here, okay? But thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios.